mean, you may have read in the local paper last week about this story. It's about a live mascot for the cricket club. So good morning, Colin.
Good morning, Mark.
What was it that made you have a live mascot for the cricket club? We're not going to say what it is yet, but what made you have a live mascot?
Right, there was no plan to have a live mascot. It was just a case of a few years back. I was sitting at home with my son and wife, and we was watching television, and an advert came up from one of these World Wildlife Fund things about adopting a tiger or an elephant somewhere in Africa. And my son, in a moment of genius, said, well, why don't we adopt an animal that has a link with our cricket club? And it seems so obvious and yet so easy to think of, and we've sort of went from there.
So, what made you choose the duck?
Well, our emblem is 3 ducks. No link to Newington as such. It's just, I think, more to do with bad play on the cricket field some years ago. And ducks are cheaper to print rather than old heraldic crests.
Oh,
so it was 3 ducks it became, and therefore it was down to me, as usual, to actually go and find out somewhere in Kent, hopefully close to Newington, where we could adopt a duck.
Of course, a duck has a link to cricket, because if you get out first ball, you're out for a duck.
Yeah, and I think 3 ducks was sort of the average amount of ducks that we used to have in an innings. So,
a bit like the England team of the 1990s then.
Exactly,
but,
yes.
So, I mean, how will you sort of get the duck with it sort of flying off? Because it's bound to... do you parade it round the pitch on some kind of leash, or...?
Well, this is our second, we actually call it Newington duck. This is an official name on the certificate of adoption that we have from Kent Life. The first duck, we would have had that problem, but unfortunately he died fairly recently, and the club has just come out of a period of mourning for this duck. And when Kent Life bought the new duck to us a couple of weeks ago, we found out it was called an Indian running duck. Now, first of all, I thought this was a leg pull, so I went to Wikipedia, and lo and behold, there are such things as Indian running ducks.
Really?
Yes, and they're called running ducks because they can't fly. So, problem solved.
I was just going to ask that, about how would you stop it? I mean, how did you stop the first duck from flying away?
Well, I'm not sure. That would be down to Kent Life, but I think there are ways of stopping birds from flying, and I'll leave that down to them.
Oh, so that's down to down. I mean, when will this duck be on parade for all to see?
You can go down to Kent Life, which is down near Sandling in Maidstone. It's a museum of sort of Kent Life through the ages.
It's at Coptree, isn't it? A big.
That's right.
They've got a big sort of field thing at Coptree, isn't there?
That's right. Yeah, and they have a variety of animals that you can adopt there, and one of them being ducks. But so yeah, Newington duck is there, but he doesn't actually carry a badge as such stating that. I think you actually have to ask one of the helpers.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, we'll talk more after the next song about the cricket in general, if that's okay. But it's just a fascinating story. So it's a live duck as a mascot at Newington Cricket Club. So we'll find out more after this next tune here on 106.9.